They use the money that they've embezzled, the money of the masses embezzled to open universities that the average citizen cannot afford. Most of the universities, if you go there, you can't afford it. They are in millions. And who has millions? Is it a woman that is selling akara by the roadside, or the woman that is selling groundnut that can afford $1 million? When you look at a tuition fee that we pay 560,000, 1.2 million, 800,000 per session, an average citizen cannot afford that. So they are killing the education system. Gradually, it's a deliberate. I'm telling you now, if the way they are going, if we don't stand up, as the masses stand up and face these people, by 2030, there will not be public university again. Everything will be privatized.
It is no longer news that the standard of education in Nigeria has continued to fall. These have sparked massive reactions from different quarters.
But the problem with funding is that with every developing country, you never have enough money to carry out your developmental plans. And I think that's where we are now when it comes to education. We're not being proactive, rather we're being reactive. We try to fix the problem when it appears rather than thinking forward and seeing what the problem might be. And I think until we understand that aspect and we sit down and say, okay, where do we want to be in 30 years? Where are we now? What are the challenges we see at every point? It will remain difficult for us to actually make any kind of significant improvement in our education system.
General Muhammadu Buhari believed education remains a potent weapon to reduce unemployment and other social vices. It appears his words do not match his action. He has also expressed commitment to give education its pride of place, as it will tackle social vices among steaming youth. Aside from inadequate and decaying infrastructural facilities and lack of political will, funding and unqualified teachers have been identified to be major challenges confronting education in Nigeria.
Come here. You went to the University of Calabar and read and have a degree. This bachelor degree in education, and you cannot write as a teacher. It is my responsibility to prepare my lesson note fluently or rightly on the board. Even you are starting a sentence with a small letter as a teacher. Is it as? You don't know the difference between as and has.
Politicians and public office holders, both serving and retired, appear to not trust the quality of education in Nigeria. Could it be that there are unqualified teachers in Nigeria to train and tutor their children? Or because Nigeria produces half-baked graduates because of lecturers' indiscipline? A statement by the former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Calabar, Professor Kelvin Etta, who noted that lecturers' desperation for money was responsible for the falling standard of education in Nigeria. Besides, bribing lecturers for grades, sex for marks, and other acts of indiscipline reportedly thrive in Nigerian universities. Are the leaders supposed to lose hope in restoring the education sector back to its glory days? Are these the reason why they spend a fortune enrolling and training their children in foreign universities at the expense of the nation's future? These are some questions that may not be answered. Muhammadu Buhari may not have kept to his words, but what happens to how the nation's helm of affairs is handled in the near decade by graduates who are supposed to be leaders of tomorrow? A graduate is saying in a viral video,
You cannot write prepare. You cannot write responsibilities. You cannot write as. Okay, you can go. Madam, Madam, you need to go back and look at all their books. You need to, you have a degree and you cannot write what I have stated for you to write on the board. So, assuming you are employed now, what will you be teaching the students? Madam, talk to me. What is their problem?
if you're a public office holder, should not travel out for medical tourism, and your kids are supposed to be here schooling. Because I think if your kids are here schooling, you want to enact more law to better the environment where they are.
Nigerians in power proudly showcase the graduation of their children in higher institutions of learning abroad. Politicians and public office holders take their children to foreign schools, neglecting the trust and hope vested in them to revive the education sector.
I don't buy the idea of our lawmakers or our big men sending their children abroad while we have an institution in Nigeria. So that is to show that they are not taking good care of our education sector. If our education sector is being taken care of, there is no need of you sending your children abroad.
In 2017, the first son of former Senate President Bukola Saraki graduated from the London School of Economics. In June 2019, Obinna Amechi, son to Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, graduated from the Simon Fraser University in Canada. President Muhammadu Buhari's daughter, Aisha Jr., popularly known as Anan, graduated with a first class in photography from Ravensbourne University, London. It would be recalled that General Buhari's daughter Zahra and son Yusuf graduated from the University of Surrey, Guildford, England. Afame Efula, the first son of former governor of Imo State, Senator Rochas Okorocha, graduated in 2015 from the University of Manchester with a first class in mechanical engineering. In 2017, Okorocha's son bagged an MSc degree in mechanical engineering from Imperial College, London. In July 2014, son to former Minister of FCT and current Governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai, graduated from King's College, London. Fiyin Foluwa, son to Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, graduated in July 2019 from the Warwick University, London. Former Deputy Senate President and Senator representing Enugu West shared the news of his daughter, Sonia Chinonso, who graduated from Coventry University, the United Kingdom, in July 2019. She bagged a Bachelor of Arts in Media and Communications. Daughter of the chairman of the Universal Basic Education Commission, also graduated from a UK university. Let's calculate the total money expended by these serving and retired politicians and public office holders. Bukola Saraki's son attended the London School of Economics, where newly admitted undergraduate students are mandated to pay £16,392 as tuition fees for 4 years. These in total amounts to £65,668, which is equivalent to 30,940,000 naira. Aside tuition fees, a check on the London Nest website, a popular housing agency in the United Kingdom, shows that a self-contained studio for single occupancy with private bathroom and kitchenette goes for £290 per week, equivalent to 138,100 naira. Rent for 4 weeks stands at £1,100, equivalent to 523,000 naira. Accommodation cost for 1 year is £13,200, which translates to 6,283,200 naira. A total of £52,800 paid as rent for 4 years equals 25,132,800 naira. Findings from close associates also revealed that the son or daughter of these politicians and public office holders gets a weekly allowance of £10,000 or more for upkeep and other expenses, equivalent to 4,760,000 naira. £40,000 monthly allowance estimate in Nigerian naira is 19,040,000 naira. Allowance for 4 years stands at £960,000, equivalent to 913,920,000 naira. In total, tuition, accommodation and allowance for one child of a politician studying in the United Kingdom in Nigerian currency stands at 969,992,800 naira, close to 1 billion naira. When 969,992,800 naira is multiplied by 10, we have an estimate of 9,699,928,000 naira. This is about 42% of the 23 billion education budget allocation of Borno state government, the highest in sectorial allocations for the year 2020, with greater emphasis on the Borno State University. Yearly, students seek entry into the 146 universities in the 36 states of Nigeria. Only about 600,000 make the cuts. Schooling abroad has become the most preferred choice for Nigerians. Industrial action, irregular academic calendar are part of the reasons Nigerians troop abroad to study.
It's very unfortunate. I was running for president and my daughter was going to university. I made sure that she stayed here. I could have struggled to send her abroad. I wrote something I was very bitter, with the president for, what we've seen since it came, that all the students that are leaving university are leaving from abroad. That means they have absolutely no faith in this country. Now, if you don't have a faith in your own country, how can you lead the country to El Dorado? It's never going to happen. It's very unfortunate that, we're seeing all this display, Amechi's son, this one's son, and all of that. Whose money? What work were those people doing before they got into government? How can they afford $60,000 every year to put a child in school, and they have several of those? If we don't use that which we have, how will it ever improve? And if we don't reposition, we all went to public schools. And they're not investing at all in any of those public schools. So it's highly unfortunate. It's a touchy point for me, and I think that Nigerians should take these guys up on that issue.
Visit to one of the schools in Nigeria shows the state of things. The school headmistress also bears in mind on condition of anonymity.
Our school, in short, is overpopulated. We have at least 100 children in each class. Imagine merged two classes. You know how many it will range. Yes. We have 23 teachers. 23 teachers, assistant 1, assistant 2, being myself, and our overall head mistress. Last time, one private school supplied textbooks, even the ones their children used. They sent at least 2 bags of reading materials.
There are no seats in the schools, and the classrooms are overstretched due to overpopulation. The Parent-Teachers Association fees collected are invested into the school needs. There is no Nigerian university ranked among the top 1,000 universities in the world. Students also rely on the challenges they are faced with.
It is very difficult to see transportation. You have to stand under sun to see transportation. So transportation is one of the challenges, and teachers, because in my school we have only one maths teacher in my school, in my class. So teachers are one of the challenges we have in school, in my school.
I'm praying for God to make the school change. I want the school to be a new school. By the grace of God, if God provide, the school will add more chairs. There will be enough school library, and the textbooks will be there. The chairs, we don't have enough chairs in the library also, and the textbooks, they are not also enough. So by the grace of God, they'll bring more laboratory equipment for the science students.
The fund allocated in the 2020 budget presented to the National Assembly by General Muhammadu Buhari fell short of the 26% benchmark by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. The education sector got about 620 billion, which is about 7% of the entire budget. While General Muhammadu Buhari has emphasized the importance of education and how it will help tackle social vices and provide employment, his administration's commitment and determination is yet to be seen in the funding of vital areas in the education sector, especially with 2020 budgets.
Universal Basic Education, UBEC, is one of the most moribund organizations in this country. If they were doing their work, we wouldn't have 13 million children on the streets as we speak, So it's bad enough that we haven't actually ever quite prioritized education, and we need to move beyond political speak We know what education can do.
Funding of education has to be realistic to prove that the government is committed to reviving the sector. The system of education should be fashioned into the trends of time to meet revolving global changes. For a president who promised to lead the nation in a prudent and efficient manner, one would expect that he would give up the idea of sending and training children in universities abroad, considering his change mantra. Reorienting the mindset of policymakers in the education sector will go a long way in focusing on exploring educational system and methods that can chart a new course for the nation. There is need for a concerted effort to fund education at various levels by the government, as funding of the education sector in Nigeria has not been realistic. It has not been given its rightful place in the budgets. Nigeria's ability to realize a vision of becoming one of the largest 20 economies in the world by the year 2020 seemed to have failed, as it is largely dependent on the capacity to transform her education sector and her population into highly skilled and competent citizens capable of competing globally. With the precedent set by these leaders who have chosen to lavish the country's wealth on foreign trips to get a good education and quality healthcare for them and their families, the dream of transforming Nigeria may not be realized in the near future. Roots TV, Nigeria.